Hey, what's up and hello? You're watching Beard Zero Fishing, and this is a bonus episode since I had such a stellar day out on the water in my last episode, fishing on the Lampasas River. So I decided to bring it back to Camp Zero and finish it out with a clean and cook. And since my wife has been asking me, she said, hey, can you teach me how to clean fish? What better time than when I have a mess of fish? So, introducing for the first time on the channel, the wife of Zero.
Hi everybody!
And today, I'm going to show her the right way to clean up a mess of fish. So, let's go ahead and get to our cleaning station. Every good cleaning station, when you want to start cleaning up some fish, first you need your cleaning board that has the clamping jaws on it. Really helpful. It's almost impossible if you don't have those. It makes it extremely difficult if you don't. The fish slides all over the place because they're slimy, and you end up slicing yourself up, and you don't want to do that. So, the fish board is definitely highly recommended with the jaws. Next, your very sharp fillet knife is a must. A dull knife will cause you a lot of extra work and will end up ultimately making you waste some of the meat. And we want to get every bit of meat off of these fish that we can get. Next, we need a container to put our fish fillets in. And the bottled water isn't necessary, but for us, we have a boil water notice in effect currently, so we're using bottled water instead of tap water. But at home, you guys can use tap water. So, getting started. First step, get a fish. And we are going to start with one of the sunfish. They're one of the easiest fish to clean since they're smaller and their bones are a little easier. But first thing you do, make sure the fish is dispatched. You don't want to start doing this process while the fish is still alive because that would be excruciatingly painful for that animal, and we don't want to do that. So, once the fish is dispatched, which all these fish are, you want to first secure the jaws around the mouth of the fish. That will allow you to start cutting the fillet without the fish moving all over the place on you and making your life really hard. Next, you take your fillet knife. You want to go in behind the fin, straight up and down, as close to the fin as you can. And the reason you want to go behind the fin is because there is like a bone or piece of cartilage in this fin that is extremely hard to cut into, so you want to go just behind it so you miss it. Then we're going to slice down until we hit the spine. Once we hit the spine, then we're going to turn the blade 90 degrees and we're going to start to slice toward the tail, following the spine. Now when we get down to the end of the tail with about half an inch, a quarter of an inch left, you'll stop cutting. Some people like to slice all the way through and then cut the fillets off of the skin later. I like to do it all in one step. It makes everything nice and easy. So once we get to that part, we're going to leave it, flip it over, and then go ahead and fillet it right then and there. So let me go ahead and get started and show you the first one. And we're going to go ahead and fast forward through this and get to the actual filleting it off the skin part. Same thing here. Now this side will be easier since I'm cutting away from me to take the ribs out. So I'm just going to slide right underneath those ribs, right behind them, and just follow the ribs. Sometimes you got to apply just a little bit of pressure because those bones, those Y bones, are connected to the back side of the ribs. So sometimes you got to cut through that just a little bit. And then I'm kind of turning the blade up a little bit to follow right along the ribs and not cut out a bunch of meat. Now that I've done that, I can do the Y cut later. But then same thing, real lightly, just start going along. And I'm kind of putting pressure down on the blade to run it flat along the cutting board. So now I got that. So I'll take and cut that little Y into it to cut those bones out. So now there's no bones in it, completely boneless once again. Toss it in our water, we'll give it a good rinse later. Now in between every other fish or so, you want to resharpen your knife because it will dull while you're cleaning them. You don't want to be working with a dull knife. It's a lot of extra work and it's really dangerous actually. You can really cut yourself pretty bad using a dull knife. So we'll clean one more fish with it and then I'll sharpen it and we'll continue on. Think you want to give it a shot?
Alright, let's do it.
Okay, so the same process holds true for these fish as well. Same thing. Okay, you're in this. Sorry. You might have cut a little too far through, maybe. Okay, so now remember down here, you might have to cut around that fennel just a little bit. There you go. And then just start going up, yeah. And you can tell, don't move the knife, you can tell right here that you're cutting right along the spine by these fins. Those spines on the back. And then you might want to, oh, that's okay, we can still fix that. What you want to do to fix that is just back out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, do what you're doing there, just a little bit along there, and then back out again and go back all the way through. And we'll save that meat. And then you'll want to start moving your hand along behind it, like either here or underneath it, but as long as you're always behind the blade. So there you go. So go ahead and flip it. Now you can either cut the ribs out now, you can flip the board around if you want, if it makes it easier to cut away from yourself. It's probably safer for you.
Okay, I already did it that way.
Flip the board around. Since you're new at this, go ahead and flip the board around. It's easier to cut away. Now put your fingers behind.
Yeah.
There you go. Harder than it looks, huh?
Yeah.
Not bad. Not bad for your first time. You can flip it back around. Just be careful not to stab yourself in the process. Don't want to do that. And then real lightly, you'll feel it when it goes down to the skin. And then you press kind of hard now, flat toward the board. And then just little, yep, there you go. Not bad for your first one. You got all the meat off of there, very good. So then you just feel in here and see if there's any bones. Some fish have those bones, some fish don't. There won't really be any in the tail section here, just in here.
Oh, right here a little.
Up by where the ribs are. So what you want to do, wait.
It's just right
turn
here.
Turn it.
Okay.
So you see the grooves in the board?
Mm-hmm.
It's easy to cut down those grooves as opposed to cutting across the grooves. Alright, so now that you cut that out, now it's ready to go in the ice water. Alright, now you can cut the rest of that piece of tail off, the skin. Not like that. Hold it, like flip it up over. There you go. No. Go back underneath.
Oh, okay.
There you go. Just like that. Because if you cut that part of the tail off, it'll make it very difficult when you get to the other side.
Ah.
It'll be much harder. And a tip for cleaning fish, the colder they are, the easier they are to clean. Not frozen, but if they're nice and cold, they clean easier. Especially if you're talking about a fish like white bass. White bass, definitely, they clean up so much nicer when they're nice and cold, when they've been in the cooler for a while and they got nice and chilled out. It helps to firm the meat up too. And that's what we like. A lot of people complain about white bass, their meat being too mushy. But if you clean them while they're nice and cold, you don't really have that problem. I'm going to help you here. So I will dispose of this. Okay, good job. And we'll get them rinsed off nice and good later. Okay, so we just finished up in the kitchen. The wife did a terrific job frying the fish up, doing some homemade cheese sticks, and we got some sweet potato fries, along with the Beard Zero secret fish dip that I showed you guys how to make. It's not so much of a secret anymore, but the only thing left is to take a taste. Perfect.
Perfect.
So how does it feel to clean your own fish now, to have learned how to do that?
I'm ready for you to get back out there so I can have some more fish to clean.
Awesome stuff. Thank you so much for cooking this up for us. This fish is really, really, really good.
Now I'm going to take off and go eat the rest of this.
So the wife went back inside with the plate of food. She's going to sit down with the family. I'm about to catch up with her, and hopefully on the channel we'll get her out here to do some fishing with me. She is quite the fisherman. Thank you so much for joining me today for this bonus episode of Beard Zero Fishing, and I'll catch you next time.